And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Hello again, everyone, and thanks for joining us for this Monday's Alaska weather. Up first, hazardous weather graphic, winter storm warnings out here for the Nunivak Island area, Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta, right on up into the northern Kuskokwim Valley there around McGrath and Nikolai. That's for snow and freezing rain for Tuesday through Wednesday with gusty northeast winds, winter weather advisory out St. Lawrence Island, Bering Strait coastline there for snow and blowing snow with winds gusting out of the north to 55 miles per hour. And then winter weather advisories here across the central interior due to persistent snowfall Tuesday and Wednesday that will accumulate to several inches at least through this area as a band of persistent snow sits up across that area. And so look for some pretty good snowfalls up in that area. To the south, though, much drier conditions, and to the north, much drier as well. And for the satellite imagery, you can see the next big storm here, the center just off the chart there, off the picture, but a lot of clouds coming northward here, spreading mid and high level clouds into the Alaska Peninsula and east central Aleutians on up to the Pribilof Islands. Also a lot of cold air coming southward out of the Chukchi Sea from the Arctic here and the Russian Far East, north winds gusting up to 40 miles an hour, St. Lawrence Island and through the Bering Strait coastline there. Taking a turn to the southwest here, and then dropping down into the western Aleutians with snow falling at Shimia this afternoon. Winds gusting 50 to 55 miles an hour this afternoon over the Pribilof Islands. Those will continue to increase tonight into tomorrow there. Otherwise, a break here across southern Alaska with some clearing skies from Kodiak, increasing high clouds there, and clouds over the interior there. And here's this area of developing snowfall through this area. So will be associated with this cloudiness up in this area and will be kind of shifting southeastward as an Arctic high builds into the north slope. Otherwise, moisture front moving into the panhandle brought showers today following in behind that are diminishing this afternoon over the southeast coast there. And then the big storm coming up tonight, you can see 963 millibar low heads right to Unalaska Island. Front swings up to the Alaska Peninsula, storm force winds with possible gusts of 75 miles an hour over the Alaska Peninsula there with that low center tracking to the west there. And northeast winds, northeast winds continue to increase over the Pribilof Islands and stays very windy over the northern Bering Sea. Along this frontal boundary, mixed precipitation in the form of snow on the north side of the front, obviously, and a mixture of rain and snow and freezing rain south side there, but generally snow here developing northern Kuskokwim Valley right on up across the northeast interior to the eastern Arctic coast. High pressure starting to show up there on the western north slope areas. So some isolated showers here over the southeast coast, but wind and rain spreading up into Kodiak Island and eventually looking for some increasing moisture to push into the Kenai Peninsula and up into Prince William Sound, all the way up into northern Cook Inlet in the southern Susitna Valley and lower Madanuska Valley later tonight and into tomorrow morning. And then for tomorrow, it'll be cloudy with areas of rain and snow here over south central Alaska with this low center, another system kind of pulling up from the south there as this low pulls westward a little bit there and starts to weaken. That's going to keep strong winds across the Pribilof Islands there with winds out of the northeast, storm force northeast winds there, 50 to 55 knots, dropping right on down into the Adak-Atka area with rain here to the south and along the warm front there, kind of a mixed band of freezing rain and snow. And then farther to the south, that'll be in the form of rain. And then on the north side of the front there, Yukon Delta, all snow, gusty northeast winds there, snow here through the central interior areas, and a little colder with high pressure building over the north slope there and clearing it out. Another nice day, or at least a clear day there for the Seward Peninsula. Still looking at some pretty gusty northeast winds, especially out toward the Bering Strait again, with gusts of 55 miles an hour there. Stays very windy out over the western Aleutians with rain and snow showers. And this front will keep it wet along the North Gulf Coast with a chance of moisture pushing into the northern panhandle, but the central and southern areas should see a dry day. And for the day on Wednesday, that front finally pushes in, so that'll bring some periods of rain in across all the southeast coast, periods of light rain for the North Gulf Coast into Prince William Sound, and with this trough across the Kenai Peninsula, mixed rain and snow for Cook Inlet. Should be dry for Kodiak Island there. Snow continues here over the central and eastern interior from the northern Susitna Valley, eastern central Alaska Range into the northern Kuskokwim Valley, right up across the upper Tanana Valley area, northward there into the Yukon Flats around Fort Yukon, Beaver, Chalk-Yitzhak. Farther to the north, up toward Arctic Village, dry conditions with clearing and chillier temperatures up there under that high over the north slope. Northeast winds diminishing now, especially over the northern Bering Sea. You can see less gradient. Still a little breezy St. Lawrence Island, but should be dry with snow for the Pribilofs and diminishing winds. And stays very windy, though, for the central Aleutians here, but less wind for the Alaska Peninsula and the eastern Aleutians with periods of rain there in that warmer air. You can see the low center dropping southward now a little bit, but still as it comes up, it's going to push enough warm air up, another surge here to keep it temperatures above normal across southern Alaska. Then for Thursday, that Arctic front kind of drops off to the southeast here, bringing some moisture into the northern panhandle. Skies clear out, temperatures will start to fall here over southern Alaska. Colder temperatures up to the north there, all the way to the Arctic coast with dry conditions covering much of the area and a fair amount of clearing. Scattered snow showers over the Copper River Basin. That low really weakening now south of the Aleutians. Periods of rain there up along the Alaska Peninsula. Still a chance of rain comes back into Kodiak Island there, but it'll be light rain, periods of light rain, and not too much in the way of wind now with this system. Much lighter winds here over the northern Bering Sea. Winds continue to diminish over the Pribilof Islands with this high ridging down into Adak and Atka for some nice weather there ahead of that next system, bringing good gale force winds into areas from Kiska Island westward to Shemya and Attu. And for the lows tonight, anywhere from 5 below to 15 below for the western North Slope, Brooks Range out to the Arctic coast. Ambler, Kotzebue area down a little 0 to 5 below and 0 to 5 above in the Fort Yukon area. And then much milder over southern Alaska, lower 30s here for northern Cook Inlet and the Susitna Valley, upper 30s down toward Homer, lows near 40 for Kodiak, lower 40s for the Alaska Peninsula, upper 30s northern panhandle, otherwise in the 40s. Highs for tomorrow, 45 to 50 southern southeast coast, in the 40s here, mid 40s for Homer, Kodiak, mid to upper 40s here, or upper 40s for the Alaska Peninsula, right on up to King Salmon, high 46 there, mid 30s up into the Susitna Valley, all the way up to possibly Healy, could see 34 for the high there, otherwise in the 20s for the Tanana Valley. Teens back to the north, and then staying below zero, Anatuvik Pass and portions of the North Slope and Arctic coast. Lows for Wednesday morning, again with the colder high pressure and clearing skies up here. Lows should be anywhere from 15 to 30 below for the North Slope into the Brooks Range. And below zero weather now down into the Kobuk Valley and Noatak Valley as well. Lows around 5 for the Seward Peninsula. Staying quite mild here across southern Alaska with lows in the lower to mid 30s, milder along the coast, and in the 40s for the Panhandle, lower 40s for the Alaska Peninsula, and 30s for the Aleutians. Highs for Wednesday afternoon, again contrasted here from north to south with below zero weather from the Brooks Range to the Arctic coast. Anywhere from 15 to 30 in the central interior, a little chillier back out here to the west, 10 to 15 for the Seward Peninsula. Lower 40s, Bristol Bay, and 30s, still above freezing for south central Alaska, and in the 40s to near 50 for the southeast coast.